Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the third, I think it is, episode in a series called Birds on a Budget. And this week we're talking about extending your reach. Now traditionally, extenders or teleconverters or multipliers, which are devices that most wildlife photographers use to extend the range of their lenses. In fact, for the cash-strapped, they seem a very affordable way of getting a long lens. A 300mm f4 lens will make it difficult to photograph small shy animals and birds, while adding a 2x converter will make it an attractive proposition, so you can see why they are so popular. Indeed, if you take into consideration the cost of long lenses, and for example the Canon EF 600mm f4, which sells in Australia for currently around $24,000, you'll see how a 300mm lens and a ×2 converter can look a screaming bargain. Since then, however, a new alternative has come up, and that is using AI-powered software to enlarge images. Exposure Software's Blow Up was one of the first. Topaz Labs has Gigapixel AI. Both of these are plugins for Photoshop and Lightroom. And Adobe now has Super Resolution as part of its enhance function in Lightroom. Gigapixel is about 150 Australian dollars. Blow Up is 125 Australian dollars. And of course, Super Resolution comes with your Lightroom subscription. So do these pieces of software make teleconverters obsolete? And if you want the very best image quality, should you even use any of these options? Before we launch into the test, let's look at how the software options work. For Lightroom Super Resolution, select the image in your library and right-click on it and choose Enhance. Then select the Super Resolution option in the panel, and then once it's resized the picture, crop it to taste. For Blow Up 3, select your image in your Lightroom library, right click on it and select Edit, then Blow Up 3. In Blow Up, choose Crop and Resize, and then just crop the picture as you wish. I kept the increase in size to 200%, as I find any more degrades the image quality. Then click OK, and it takes you straight back to Lightroom. For this video, I'll take a Canon EF 70-200 f2.8 lens and test it with the Canon EF 2x extender Mark II and compare it to images taken without the converter and then with the converter and then without the converter but enlarged using Blow Up and Lightroom Super Resolution. Then for the second part of the test, I'll test the Olympus 40-150 f2.8 Pro lens in the same way, but using the Olympus m.Zuiko digital 1.4x teleconverter. And this is to see how magnification of the converters affects image quality. So let's have a look first at the Canon 70-200 f2.8. First off, we'll look at the lens sharpness chart. Wide open, without the extender, the center of the chart is a little bit soft and lacking in contrast. When adding the teleconverter, the results are a little bit softer. Stopping the lens down to f4 and consequently f8 with the extender, the results are better with a little bit more sharpness and contrast. But the shot without the teleconverter is still sharper than the one with. Finally, 2 stops down from wide open is generally considered to be the optical sweet spot of any lens. And here we see that at f11, the 70-200 and the teleconverter have attained their best result, but it is still softer and has less contrast than the 70-200 on its own at f5.6. Lens charts don't really tell the whole story. So we'll look at the results we got with our supermodel for today, Gaza the Galah. The camera was set to aperture priority at 100 ISO, and the aperture was one stop down from wide open, f4 and f8 respectively. The photos were all taken from the same position with the camera on a tripod, and the results are quite interesting. Obviously, in the shot with the teleconverter, Gaza is larger, and this is what we want to see. The shot without the teleconverter has more fine detail. Next, I took the shots without the teleconverter and ran them through blow up and super resolution, and in both cases the results from the lens with the teleconverter were better. Let's look at the Olympus m.Zuiko 40-150mm f2.8 lens with the Olympus 1.4 times teleconverter. I ran the same test as above and found that the Olympus combination was very consistent in that the teleconverter had only a marginal impact on the image quality. Looking at the results from blow-up and super resolution, we see that the results from the teleconverter were a tiny bit better with more micro contrast. The image produced by Lightroom's super resolution look over-sharpened with moire evident and artifacts in the shadow areas. The shot for the lens and teleconverter overall looks more pleasing. Conclusion. Well, the software solution was very disappointing, and I would not go out of my way to buy blow-up or Topaz Labs Gigapixel AI. The Lightroom super resolution is a bit different because it comes part of Lightroom, but I would only use it in dire situations. The result from the teleconverters showed that they are worth having, but they won't give you necessarily the best image quality. That really depends upon three things. 1, the quality of the lens. 2, that you are using a matched teleconverter, as we were in this test. And 3, the magnification of the teleconverter plays a huge part in image quality. 1.4 times teleconverters have the least impact upon image quality than the ×2 teleconverters. The best results were naturally from the lens without teleconverters. So, to sum up, I would say for the budget-conscious photographer who has a good quality lens, then it is certainly worth trying a matched teleconverter if you can't afford a longer lens. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it useful, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Goodbye.